Welcome to EduCub. Today we are with the second part of static electricity from grade 7 science. Today's our topic is generation of static electric charges. The amount of positive and negative particles are equally distributed on an object before it is rubbed. Therefore, the object does not show any net charge. When the objects are rubbed against each other, negatively charged particles remove from one object and transfer to the other object. The object from which negatively charged particles are removed is charged positively, and the object that gain negatively charged particles is charged negatively. The process that takes place when a pair of objects are rubbed against each other can be illustrated as like this. Let's say we are taking a glass rod and a piece of cloth. Before rubbing, positively and negatively charged particles are scattered uniformly. Therefore, objects do not show any net charge. Second one, while rubbing, negatively charged particles removed from one object and they are gathered on surface of the other. It is clear to you when two objects are rubbed with each other, one object is positively charged while the other is negatively charged. Accordingly, positively charged and negatively charged objects connect each other. Two objects become neutral. Therefore, objects do not possess any net charge. Let's do this simple activity to test the neutralization of charged objects due to the exchange of static electric charges. You will need a glass rod, an ebonite rod, a piece of silk cloth, a piece of woolen cloth to stand pieces of thread. What you have to do? Rub the silk cloth against the glass rod and rub the woolen cloth against the ebonite rod. Hang two rods separately, one on to stand with pieces of threads. Bring two rods close to each other slowly. It is observed that positively and negatively charged rods attract at first time when they brought close to each other, as occasion 1, but neither attract or repel when they are brought together repeatedly. The reason for this is that they are neutralized because of exchange of charges at the first attraction. Our next topic is phenomena associated with static electricity. There are many occasions in our day-to-day life when we experience incidents associated with static electricity. Let's consider some of them. First one, lightning. You can recall instances of lightning with or without rain. Sometimes lightning can be damage property as well as lives. Lightning occurs because of generation of static electric charges on clouds. Scientists have not come to an exact decision on how static electricity occurs in the cloud. It is believed the static charges occur by rubbing particles of ice and water one another. Thus, static electric charges collect on the cloud and cloud becomes charged. A sudden spark of the static electric charges either inside the cloud or between two clouds or between a cloud and the earth is called lightning. Next one is emitting tick sound when ironing clothes. Sometimes you have observed that hair on your arm is attracted to silk cloths giving a tick sound when you iron them. The reason for this phenomena is generation of static electric charges when iron comes into connect with the silk cloths. Third one, attraction of hair on the arm towards TV screen. Sometimes you have experienced that hair on your arm attract to the TV screen when the TV is switched off. The reason for this is the accumulate static electric charges on TV screen. Next phenomena is some other instances associated with static electricity. Static electricity is used in the electric circuits in equipment like photocopy machines, radio, and television. Our next topic is capacitors. Let's make a simple capacitor. What you will need? Two aluminum sheets approximately 50 centimeter and 50 centimeter, 15 centimeter, two pieces of wires, a galvanometer, a polythene sheet, two dry cells, sellotape or rubber bands. What you have to do? Connect the two pieces of wire to the aluminum sheets, place the polythene sheet between the aluminum sheets and hold the aluminum sheet accurately without letting them touch each other using a sellotape or rubber band. Connect the free ends of the wires to dry cells and keep it some time. Remove the cells, connect the wires to the galvanometer and observe it. Like this. Keep the polythene sheet between two aluminum sheets and connect that aluminum sheet with dry cells. And keep it some time and remove the dry cells and connect it with the galvanometer. When connected dry cells, static electric charges are stored in the capacitor. When it is connected to the galvanometer, releasing of charge can be observed. The application of can stored static electric charges is known as the application that can be stored static electric charges is known as capacitor. The appliance that can store static electric charges is known as capacitor. Storage of static electric charges in the capacitor is known as charging, and releasing the charges from the capacitor is known as discharging. The amount of electric charges that can be stored in a capacitor is measured in farads. Is used as subunit. The amount of electric charges that can be stored in capacitor is measured in farads. Microfarad is used as subunit. When the discharging occurs through the galvanometer, there are more efficient type of capacitors are made in various sizes. Details like chargeable voltage, positive terminals and negative terminals, maximum capacity that you can store are mentioned on them. This is a symbol of the capacitor. You have to do another small practical to identification of charging and discharging of the capacitor. Connect the piece. What you have to do? Connect the pieces of wires to the terminals of the capacitor. Connect the other ends of the wires to dry cells correctly. After a few seconds, remove the dry cells and connect the LED correct to the capacitor and observe what you have seen. Positive terminals of the dry cell should connect with the positive terminals of LED. The reason for the lighting of LED is discharging of charges stored in the capacitor through the LED. The capacitor can be recharged by connecting it correctly to the dry cells. This is what we have to do throughout this lesson. Let's meet with another new lesson, Generation of Electricity, the third unit of Science, Grade 7. Thank you.